This is the right hand wing, front wing, and this is like a splash panel fixing point, extension of the bulkhead, whatever. And these are just blown. That's just going to fall off any minute. This is where they go. So this is the A post, and I'm going to make a complete panel to go in there. I've cast a piece of polyester fiberglass onto a sheet of melamine, and then this is the sort of panel I need to create. So this will go against the car, this will go against the fiberglass wing. So I'll rough that out, and then this will be screwed to the A post, and this will be fiberglass solid to the wing. That's the plan. Put the old wing back in place, and it tucks under that rubber. These were cut open for the air vents, so I'm going to blank those off. But it's very difficult to get in there and trace it, but it's going to follow the door all the way down till it gets to here, and it's going to do something else. So I should be able to just take the wing off and just follow the door line with a bit of luck. Right, that's all cut back to the shape of the door. My plan is to put the wing back on and tack this on with a hot glue gun and take it off and glass it on. Next day now, and that seems to have worked alright. So I've got some 3-inch fiberglass tape and epoxy, just one layer each side. Got to trim off these wavy bits here. That's pretty strong, and these wings are very lightweight, very flimsy. And if you leave a bit of a gap here, you can push the wing in and out till you're happy with the right shape of it, and then a blob of hot glue on there, and you can make it fit the door line. Because this didn't really fit the door line. If the door catches on it, you get this breakout. A little repair I've got to do there. But pleased with that, so get those cleaned up and then try and get this flange on. And these are the bits of metal I took out, which are very heavy. I don't see the point of putting so much weight in that metal and attaching it to flimsy wings. It doesn't add up to me. Here's a before, and here's an after. Mostly done with 2000 grit, a little bit of 1200 here and there. These rusty spots, something a little bit coarser, but I've not polished that yet, just scuffed it up. The gel coat comes up really nice, doesn't it? These little holes, I wonder what they're for. Can't see any reason for those. I'll have to put a patch on the back and plug those. Do the other side now. Right, wing cleaned up and bolted on roughly. I just made a new flange. I put some wax oil on first because I want to take this off now, clean that up, and then have this as a bolt-on affair rather than a stick-on affair, so I can always take it up again. Let's see if it's loose. Yeah. That'll come off easy enough. Nice dry day, see if I can tackle this door. So get this off, and it looks like this might be an original edge here, but then the previous owner has hacked into this bulge here Got to rebuild all that somehow. I'll take it to bits and see what we got. Show you what I'm doing with the door. This might be vaguely interesting. So this had all been hacked around, so from inside I glassed this timber partition to the outer skin on both sides, and then on the outside I fitted a melamine strip all the way around the border and epoxied that from the outside. I ground this back first, and then when that had gone off I fiberglassed that from the inside with a polyester. Now I've obviously got to sand that back, cut this lip back, and this will give me a flange to fit a car sort of door seal. And I'm going to try and create a lip at the bottom, or a drip. So I'll get that cleaned up now. Don't really know where I was up to. So anyway, the heater's back in. That little panel that goes in there, that's back in. I've moved the fuse box. Well, the fuse box is still up there with no fuses in it. I've just taken a wire from each side down to a new fuse box that you can actually reach. Batteries in. This was all missing. These, you used to use the old Ford ones that poked through the air vents, well they're gone now, so I'll put those in the bonnet. I think this came as a kit. That's all tidied up, bolted in. What else? Got some new doors off Graham, thank you very much. A pair of nice doors, and they're all bolted on with some new galvanised brackets. And they came with glass. So I've actually got the wrong registration number on there, so I'll edge that out. Back end's all done pretty much, although I may have to raise that suspension, that's looking a bit low. We'll come to that when I've got all the gear back in it. Lots of jobs that come up that say, oh, while that's off I may as well do this. This is the front petrol pipe runs across the front valance, the bottom of the car, and that's really manky. So I'm using this Bundy pipe. It's a steel pipe, bends very easily with your fingers. I was quite surprised there's no flares on the end of the old pipes. Let's see how that breaks. Well, it's still fairly rigid, but it's pretty gnarly. So I'll replace that and some rubber bits, and then I can get the front panel back on, I think. This was a bit more of a challenge. I think this is the return pipe, I haven't quite worked that out yet. Goes over the right hand wheel somewhere. It's alright if you've got something to grab hold of, but when you get to these close bends it's a bit more tricky. Old rubber. This one's not any better. Cracking up. Fuel tank saga. I was getting sick of buying fuel tanks. It originally had the Cortina tank here, mounted on this sort of timber shelf. It did continue over the wheels. Supported on a steel bracket that was part supported off the chassis, and then the other end was glassed in along there, which I didn't like it being on top of this wood. I didn't like it being supported on this flimsy outer shell, and the tank was knackered anyway. So looked at other things. I bought, it came with old Bedford tank, which was really small and not much good. Another one I think of a Corsa, which was one of those weird shaped ones. I bought a Fiat X19 tank, which is a nice shape, but that was designed to be used upright rather than flat. I bought an LDV tank. I'll try and put some pictures in there what they look like. And to keep using it on top of this shelf business here, which I was never happy about. So I'm going for this position. So here's the prop shaft sort of member there, and that's the sill, and the sills are new, and I've repaired the end of that cross member. So it's a pretty strong affair, because those sills would have been structural in their day. So welded a piece of angle to the top of that, or tacked it in at the moment. There'll be a board going in there which will be sealed in against the floor. Then the next thing is this goes in here. This is like a drip tray, if you like, safety drip tray. There we are, that's in place. Then this will go on here, and then I'll have a rubber strip on top of that. This will get welded to this cross member. This will then get welded to the cross member and the new chassis, so that will go in there. And then this tank, Land Rover tank, good shape. Pipes are sort of okay. We'll put a new filler in there somewhere, coming off at 45 degrees. Pretty cheap, brand new. I've got to weld this removable bar to the bottom of the tank, which is okay because it's got an extra layer under the tank, like a shield, so I can weld to that without fear of blowing into the tank. That tray will get sealed onto that board, maybe clad in aluminium somehow. Then I've got a return pipe here, and this is Bundy pipe, and you can bend that really quite easily. It's a steel pipe, and I've brazed it to that bracket. That goes in there, and then the pickup pipe, same sort of affair, brazed that onto there, and I've put that filter onto the bottom. In focus, which I think I'm going to take off. If it does clog, it's going to be a pain to clean it out, and if it falls off, it might suck up against the end of the pipe and block it, so I think I'm going to take that off. That goes in there, and then that picks up with the original fuel pipes there, and then I've got to create a box around that to keep it all isolated. But that'll be much neater, and it gets this big lump of this is the old fuel filler under the window there. That sticks out a long way, and that's not watertight or fuel tight if there's a spillage at the neck. So that's the best I can come up with for that, which I think is a better solution. Just one extra thing, the old Cortina tank, I think he's getting on for 12 gallons, and this is about 10 gallons, so it's a bit short. But 10 gallons, 20 odd miles to the gallon, 200 miles, I mean that would take me about a week in this anyway, so I don't think that's a major hardship. And if I was worried, I could put another one there, have a dual tank system, but I think that's a bit over the top. Front end back together, blanked off those open vent holes, all the wings and that back on, that's all done. fiddling about with the electrics, trying to get those working. A lot of things are going. New doors. Picked up a couple of nice Cortina doors, which are pretty much perfect. New brackets. And this is all bolt on now, so if you want to get anything apart, that's how that will work. I made some little blanks to go there. Just a piece of fiberglass. Got some mirrors to go on here. See if I can find one. The rubber seals come today. That's a bit chunkier than I thought it might be. I think I can get away with that. It's going to be a bit tight down the bottom. I'm going to start with the bottom door first.